Floods are increasingly frequent due to climate change, heavy rainfall, and human activities like urbanization. But countries can significantly reduce risks through a mix of structural, nature-based, and policy-driven approaches. Below, I outline key strategies drawing from global best practices. These can be implemented at national, regional, or local levels for maximum effectiveness. 1. Implement structural engineering solutions. Build physical infrastructure to control water flow and contain floods. Construct levees, embankments, flood walls, dams, reservoirs, and weirs to prevent rivers from overflowing their banks. Develop flood relief channels, for example, the new Danube in Vienna, which diverts excess water during heavy rains, and underground storage systems beneath urban areas to hold runoff without disrupting land use. Elevate critical infrastructure like roads, bridges, and buildings in flood-prone zones to maintain access during events. 2. Adopt nature-based and green infrastructure. Use ecosystems to absorb and slow water naturally, which is cost-effective and enhances biodiversity. Restore wetlands, floodplains, and vegetation. Cover to soak up excess water and release it slowly. For example, rehabilitating watersheds in Comoros has planted millions of trees to prevent soil erosion and flooding. Create sponge cities with permeable pavements, green roofs, rain gardens, bioswales, and constructed wetlands to infiltrate stormwater in urban areas, as seen in China's initiatives. Protect or restore mangroves, seagrass beds, and riparian buffers along coasts and rivers to buffer storm surges and tidal flooding. 3. Enhance early warning and forecasting systems. Invest in technology for timely alerts to save lives and property. Deploy AI-powered flood forecasting tools like Google's Flood Hub, which provides 7-day predictions for over 80 countries and 1,800 sites. Integrate real-time monitoring with GIS mapping to identify high-risk areas and model flood scenarios for proactive evacuations. 4. Strengthen land use planning and regulations. Prevent development in vulnerable areas and update policies to build resilience. Enforce zoning laws that restrict building in floodplains and require elevated structures or floodproofing, for example, check valves in drains, sealed basements. Produce detailed flood risk maps and encourage buyouts or managed retreats from repeatedly flooded zones, supported by programs like FEMA's in the US. Update building codes for water-resistant materials and promote community flood resilience boards for watershed-based planning. 5. Improve emergency preparedness and recovery. Build capacity for response and long-term adaptation. Develop national flood management plans covering mitigation, preparedness, response and recovery phases, including public education on evacuation and insurance. Secure international funding for adaptation, for example via UNEP initiatives to bridge gaps in developing countries where costs can be 5 and 10 times current finance levels. Foster integrated water resources management to balance ecosystems, agriculture and urban needs, reducing overall vulnerability. By combining these strategies, starting with risk assessments and prioritizing green solutions, countries like the Netherlands, with advanced dikes and polders, and Singapore, urban green infrastructure, have successfully minimized flood impacts. Tailor implementations to local geography and collaborate internationally for shared resources like data and funding. If floods are imminent, focus on immediate actions like evacuations and barriers.